Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. My name is Lubem. I make videos based on health. I also give medical advice predominantly. I also give some kind of relationship advice from time to time. So if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed this video or if you are going to enjoy this video, and also turn on the notification bell so that anytime I release a video like this you can follow up. And to my viewers out there who their countries are still in the World Cup, I hope it's going well for you. I hope you are enjoying the World Cup so far. And then if you are my viewer out there and then maybe your country is not in the World Cup, I just pray maybe in the next 4 years they will still have the chance to play again. But as it is now, I don't even know which country they are going to win. So I can't even say this particular country to win because it will be biased. But whatever the competition, whoever turns out to win the World Cup, I hope it was competitive for the rest, and I will just acknowledge the best everybody did. So in this video, I'll be talking about reasons why, or the reasons behind a mother not being able to transmit HIV and AIDS to a baby, or why is not possible, or how is it possible that sometimes the baby comes out without contaminating this HIV and AIDS if the mother is positive. So because you've heard many situations or instances where they will tell you the mother was HIV positive and then the child is not. And then you'll be asking yourself, if HIV was transmitted through blood, how is it possible that the child is not coming out with HIV? How is that so? So that's the question I'll be answering today in this video. My name is Luben, like I said earlier, and I always appreciate when people, my viewers most especially, go to the comment section and tell me their thoughts about the video, whether there's something off about the video that you didn't like, or maybe there's something, or maybe something I said, or the way I presented the video in such a way that you were not comfortable with. I would love if you can share that in the comment section. I would love the criticism. I love it, so that to make me work better on some of the areas in the video. And also, if there's a topic you want me to talk about, medical related, health, or some relationship advice you want me to give, you can also leave that in the comment section. If you want to send me a message directly to me, maybe a private one, I always leave my email also in the description. I'll leave that in the description so that you can send me a message privately. A mother is tested positive for HIV, right? For those people who don't know HIV, I'll just do a Google snapshot of it. I'll drop it. So HIV, like you've just read from the screen, it's a viral disease, right? It's transmitted from through blood, most especially, and through the most paramount, the most common way of this transmission is through sexual. It's a sexually transmitted disease, right? So it's transmitted through sexual contact, or sometimes a physical contact with blood. So anytime the person who is positive comes in contact with your blood, it's most likely that it's going to be a transfer of this virus, and the virus cannot survive outside. The virus needs a human cell, or it needs not even a human cell. The virus needs a living cell to strive on. So sometimes it could be outside, might be dead on the outside of the body, but when it gets into your body, it becomes alive. So how is it possible that the mother does not transmit that? Because the baby grows inside the womb of the mother. So if something is going inside you, then it means it has to come in contact with your blood, your nutrients, and all of that. So how is that even possible? So this is what usually happens. When fertilization occurs, that's when the sperm swims up to the egg to fertilize it. It takes about approximately 3 to 4 days for that fertilized egg to be transported to the uterus. In the uterus, that's where it will implant. Implanting means it will just attach to the wall of the uterus. That inner wall of the uterus medically is known as endometrium. So it will attach to the endometrium of the uterus. So this happens in such a way that the egg already has this ability, has this signaling. There's a chemotaxis, chemoattractant from the uterus that is calling it to come. And naturally, God built it that way so that whenever the egg is being fertilized, it will go to the uterus to attach. So when this happens, the fertilized egg will attach to the wall of the uterus, the inner wall of the uterus, for that development could start. Because normally the body knows that the only place that this egg can be nourished is in the uterus. So this attachment, there's a communication, right? There's a communication between the fertilized egg and the endometrium, like I said before, or the inner wall, the uterus, anyhow you want to call it, of the mother. So this communication is known as the placenta. If I've heard of placenta before, If you have not heard of it, I'll just show the pop-up explanation on the screen. So if placenta is the communication between the mother and the baby. Also the growing baby and in the early stages is known as the fetus. So let's say the fetus and the mother, there's this communication known as placenta. Now, in this communication, there is kind of an exchange. It's like a marketplace. So when you go to the market, there's an exchange, right? You give money, you buy something, or sometimes you take something and then in exchange for money. It's just trade by barter. Every single trade is like you are giving something in return for something. It's like offering a value, and maybe you are getting paid for it. But in this type of communication, it's not like offer money or offer value per se. It's like the mother uses what it has to nourish the baby, to exchange with the fetus or the growing child. So in this communication, remember, there's a part of the fertilized egg which has become the fetus, and that's an embryo, a developing baby. There's a part of it that is coming to meet a part of the mother, which is the uterus. Remember, the uterus is from the mother, right? The fertilized egg is basically from the fetus or the baby, anyhow you want to call it. So we need that connection. There is a kind of intervilli. That's what we call intervilli space or intervilli projections or protrusions. They are like this. So this is coming from the child, which is the fetus, and this is another one coming from the mother. And you will notice that when this comes together, it will kind of enter in between these spaces. You know, villi is like there's a protrusion, there's a space, protrusion, a space. So from the mother, the protrusions will enter into the spaces of that of the child, and then from the child also it will enter into the spaces of that of the mother. So you will notice that they come in close contact with each other, but they do not touch directly with each other. So it's not like the fetus is coming like this and the mother is coming and then they join. No, it doesn't happen. If that was to happen, then therefore means every single thing from the mother will be exactly the same thing with the child, right? So the blood will be the same, every single thing will be the same, but they don't come directly in contact. So they come in close contact. Now what usually happens is someone could ask, so if they come in close contact, how come they can be able to exchange this nutrient? Now there's a phenomenon in the body, or the phenomenon naturally known as diffusion. If you have heard of it, I'll send a pop-up in the screen to the explanation of diffusion. This diffusion is just the transport of molecules or substances from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. What that means is the mother has a higher concentration of nutrients. Meanwhile, the baby or the developing fetus does not have those kind of nutrients. So from the higher concentration, which is the mother, is going to be transported. It's like a natural phenomenon that will happen. It will diffuse from the mother's blood into the blood of the baby. So that's how the nutrients are being exchanged. And if the baby has some part of nutrient which are in higher concentration, what happens is it will diffuse out again into the blood of that of the mother. Right, so you have this communication, which is the placenta, but the blood do not automatically mix with each other. But then someone might ask, okay, so how is it possible that the baby is producing its blood if the blood does not mix? Now remember, there's what we call genetic makeup, and in the genetic makeup, the DNA codes each production, codes each development of each part of the body. So the DNA its own can send a coding to the body or to the developing fetus that I need you to produce this type of blood. I need you to start producing this type of thing. And the way naturally, the way it was meant to be, the baby will start producing its own blood. I won't go into the organs that produce that type of blood, but that's just what happens. So every single human being has, remember from the fertilization, which is 23 chromosomes from each. The mother and the father is bringing 23 each, making it 46 chromosomes. These chromosomes will pile up to become the genetic inner membrane. So every of these can send a message to the cell itself to regenerate whatever cell, whatever type of cell, whatever organ it wants to produce. The body knows how to do it. Now, is it possible that the blood can mix with that of the baby? Yes, it's possible. How? During labor. So during labor, remember the mother, some tissues are being torn, the most especially the uterus, for the baby to come out, and this comes out with blood. If that blood comes in contact with the fetal blood, let's say if the blood went through the fetal's mouth or through the placenta itself, maybe probably through the cutting of the placenta, maybe not the placenta, the umbilical cord, maybe went through that channel or through any other part of the body, that blood could have gotten into the baby will definitely have the HIV positive. the baby will become HIV positive. But if it is done by experienced nurses and doctors, or the way medicine has even advanced to a certain level that now, if they know very well that the mother has is HIV positive, manage that child from the early time, or let's say from the onset, before that virus gets a chance to develop. They can even wash it off. Medicine has advanced to a certain level. In the past, it was not possible. In the past, it was not even possible for a child who the mother is positive, for the child not to be positive, because there was no more equipped, or the equipment, the technology has not really advanced. There were no drugs enough to manage such cases. But currently, there are many drugs which are being used by some hospitals and medical professionals to manage such situations or cases. So that's how or that's the reason behind the fact that a baby can be born from a HIV positive and the baby cannot really be positive. The baby can be positive during labor if the blood comes in contact, or maybe even during the development if the mother fell down or had a little kind of imbalance in the body that the blood had to mix. Definitely. But in a natural way phenomenon, if care is taken by experienced nurses and doctors and good management is there, then the baby is definitely going to come out without having HIV and AIDS. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, also, my name is Lubem, and also share me your thoughts. What do you think about this video? How has that affected you in the past? Have you ever had an experience of someone who had HIV and AIDS and the child was not, or did it happen and how did it happen? I would love to hear that or see that in the comment section. Thank you for watching.